recently we've seen a lot of social media posts of wrestlers in the airports and out of nowhere swarmed by fans with like it's not an autograph, it's sign 10 things so I can go sell them. At your height of your career, was that situation happening to you often?
Yeah, I mean, depending on the environment, if it's around an MMA thing, it was crazy. Even wrestling at different events because of the masses of people, that would happen. But my father had schooled me early on as I started getting up into the UFC and I started gaining a lot of attention. He schooled me early on and told me, he said, anytime anybody ever comes up to you, I don't care what you're doing. You're eating dinner, you're with your family. People always make excuses. Well, if I'm in my family, don't do that. Well, my dad always said, you got to understand that these guys, when they're coming around, they may never see you again. And so if you're sitting down with your family, this is their only chance to come up and say something or do something. And so for anyone to get mad at them, you have to understand where they're coming from. They're not going to see you. They don't believe they're ever going to see you again. Right. And even going through airports, or you're in another town. And so he said, make sure you always take that 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, whatever it takes to at least say hello to them and sign. It's not going to be that strenuous for you. It's not like you got 10 people standing in line to sign an autograph while you're eating dinner. I mean, if that happens, then somebody else can step in for you, but not you. And so I've always lived my life like that, whereas that the fans, I appreciate them because without them, and this is where I think it just breaking it down to simple facts is that we're nothing. We are zero without them making us something, without making us important. And then comes the money and then comes the fame, and it's all because of the fans, period. And so my father broke it down to me real clear early on. And so I've always lived that way, whereas I've always wanted to make sure I took time, no matter what situation it was in, to appreciate the people that are spending their hard-earned dollar to come watch us.
Wow. Yeah, I love that way to look at it, because it feels like through the eyes, at least the internet, someone comes through an airport, it's not one person. Like you're describing a situation where it's like one person comes up to you, you're eating dinner, and then, hey, autograph, versus a swarm of like 20, 30 guys with a bunch of shit they want you to sign, versus one autograph and one picture is different from 20 autographs.
Right. But even with guys that come up trying to, make money, there's still there's a code that I live by, and that's respecting everyone, no matter who they are. A guy could come up and be disrespectful, the way you act back to them is going to decide what happens in the next 2 to 3 seconds. And so I always try to take the high ground. I haven't always been great at it. There are times where I've gotten caught off guard, no question. But if I'm able to really think it through, I'm going to take that 2 to 3 seconds to try to decipher it and diffuse it before it ever gets started.
Yeah. Ken Shamrock, the man, the person we see on TV smashing himself in the face eating dog food is not the person that we, I guess, in the real world, very zen, it feels like, if someone comes up to you. I love it. Though,
I haven't always been that way. It took me a while to get there. It took me a while to get there. Yes.
We have talked in the past about situations where maybe your anger got the better of you. So, those are stories for the past. We're talking about different times. Though when fans come up to you, and obviously, do you go to festivals very often and sign autographs and hear the stories of how you inspire people, or is that something you don't do?
Very selective. When I do go, I always think that, when you've had a great career, and I've had a lot longer than most. I mean, I was able to fight till I was 52 and be in pro wrestling, up until I was probably 56. So I've been very blessed. So I always try to think about any time that I go somewhere, and like I said, it's not a whole lot, just very selective. That this is the time where I show my appreciation to the fans and for the support that they've shown me over the years, and being able to live a lifestyle that I'm living now. And then to show that appreciation, because without them, I don't have this. And so I take that. That's what it means to me when I go do these things. It's time for me to shake their hand and have a conversation with them and show my appreciation.